All right, so again, we're gonna go ahead and keep going. Yeah, I had to make a run, but I'm in the car, and I felt like I just had to go ahead and continue with this. And when I was talking about like test the spirit, or even knowing that again we're in this time where there's going to be these dual authoritative energies going through. One is going to be the original by blood, and one is going to be the one that may be able to use outworldly information in order to, again, because I think it feels kind of like they would be lovers of the world or worldly things, right? And so it would be those, right? And usually it's the so-called sovereign, or the ones that have been, again, I always bring up Mary of Scots because again I feel like, again, in a sense, this is just me speaking, that she was set up, and she was trying to stand in her sovereignty. And she was really powerful in that stage, but again, a lot of people wanted her gone. And again, more like Elizabeth was more cold-hearted. She didn't really have any children, but she was more of a I would say manly. Well, again, I mean, because people did say this, right, that she was more brutish. Okay, we'll say that. And she was more cold, and again, in the sense, again, maybe it was from scarring from different things, so I'm not judging, I'm just putting out what the information has been given to us. And Mary was one that was fighting for the people, and I feel like I still look at her as like a Christ figure in a sense, because she was standing on her own and standing with the counsel of her close counselors, and again, with some of them had been bribed to go to the other side, and she also was for the people, right? So yeah, so again, I want to say that we're on 12, and it says, but these, and this is a part 2 to 2 Peter. But these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption. Okay, so again, like I'm saying, for me, I had to tread back on speaking against certain things of the institution or of the construct, right? Because again, it's I don't want to seem like I'm going one way about it, where I'm just evaluating, right? We're just on this channel, we're evaluating both sides to see what's going on and what's real, right? And I think that a lot of people these days, though, with the whole, mental this, and because of this thing that came around, people with mental, be careful of that, because again, this always comes with these floods, right? These always come with these incidents where there's going to be a takeover or a grab, or something is about to be changed. And mainly it affects women in those particular groups that are made to look some kind of way, but really some people want to get their hands on these particular women because of the power that they were holding. Men too, right, for battle or whatnot, but the women, they wanted to take and keep. The men, they really didn't care if they had to kill them. If they were too strong, they would kill them. If you're too strong as a woman, they would keep you in some kind of insane asylum or something for birthing babies. I'm just saying, we're just talking, right? So again, that's why I feel like even on this journey, there's been times when I feel like people are saying, you got to go hard or whatever. You got to be, tough. And, what I'm saying? There's a certain energy that's saying that. But again, it's only me. Like I said, you can be, affirmative, or you can be someone, again, that can have a smile on your face, but be someone that is steadfast or on your road, right? Again, these people are going to have people come against them, right, from the spiritual realm and this realm, that will have tricks in the bag in order to steer you. And again, that I would think that this happens on everyone's journey, no matter what your purpose is or how powerful of a being or what position you've been put in. There's always going to be some kind of test or something to come and try and steer you. But in my eyes, I feel like as long as you repent and go away like that, and for me, it's like, do you cut it all the way off? But when you okay and I'm not trying to give any titles or anything, but when you're prophesying in a sense, right, or saying something that, you know, again, I don't like these particular titles. It's something that's in you. It's been bred into you. And, you know, in this day and age, it can come off as being something that is wicked or not right. So for a minute there, like the response I was getting, I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? Again, who knows, right? I'm just doing what I feel like is the will, okay, of the Father, right? And so, I don't know. I just think about certain things like this. But when I was talking about testing the spirit, and this is what I say about people and energies and things that we do and take part in our everyday lives. You know, when it comes to like, again, everybody's going to have their own struggles and everybody has their own things that they do, and that's all their own business. But this is why, again, I'm okay with, and I'm not against, and again, it's my opinion, it maybe should be legalized, really. When it comes to smoking, again, for me, it's tobacco sometimes, right? I've been on and off. And for others, it may be marijuana, or it might be drinking or something like that. And again, there's a difference between doing that in your free time or whatever. But I think and I feel that, you know, anybody, I test spirits. And again, anybody that has to be under the influence every single time they speak to me about something is questionable for me. And that's no offense towards anybody individual. And you know what I'm saying? Because again, we use these things in order for something. Again, with me with the cigarettes, we use these things for something, right? And we can't put them down for some reason. So again, it is sometimes those sessions, again, here and there, can be very enlightening. They can help you tap into certain things, right? But again, all of it ain't the same, right? And we don't always know where it came from and who, right? So bagged it and where it came from. So again, in that sense, I just, you know, that's just me. I don't want to have to be under the influence of anything every single day. And so that's those are kind of things, because I feel like even with tobacco, you know, of course, the people here in the Americas were dealing with tobacco prior to people coming here. But again, you know, it also, I do know that there's spiritual connections and things to the smoke, right? So, you know, it's just these particular things. And I say things that have something to do with me, because I'm trying to show you that I'm not up here trying to say like I'm perfect and I'm, you know what I'm saying, all these things. This is just to share my journey with you guys, so that we can, you know, see and understand a little bit better. And if I have to tell you something about myself that I'm not too proud of all the time, then hey, it is what it is, because I'm not trying to be nothing but what I am. Right? So again, and it says, and shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they that count it pleasure to riot in the daytime. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess riot, or, you know, cause chaos or something. I don't know, possibly, I don't know. Spots they are, and blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceiving, while they feast with you. Okay. Yeah. Well. Wow. Having eyes full of adultery. Okay. And that cannot cease from sin, beguiling unstable souls. Wow. And heart they have exercised with covetous practices, cursed children. Okay. Now I want to look at real quick adultery. 1 second. Because again, all of us, you know, I feel have blemishes in a sense, right? So let's see. Okay, so, you know, I had to pull up the other phone, which is about to die in like 1 second. So let's just see if we can get it. So again, it's saying adultery, or an adulterer, okay, early 15th century, okay, commit adultery, to make impure or pollute. So again, you know, this is the noun. So it's seeming almost like, you know, this is something, the adulterer, right? If you're going to make something, you're going to adulterate or make something impure or pollute something. That's almost like, you know, someone doing an action towards someone in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? But then towards the bottom here, yeah, it says to corrupt. Okay. To corrupt. So the adulterer is someone, I don't know. This is almost like an action. It's almost seeming like it's an act done. Okay. In the first part. But then when we look down here, it says 14th century, a person, usually a man, guilty of adultery. Okay. From Old French, from Latin verb, from adulterer to seducer. Okay, so again, in this way, you know what? And this is making me think about Rahab and the two spies, because sending them into the temple or whatever, I feel like this has something to do with, again, a way of your temple within, right? Okay, because again, we know that certain energies can dabble in your mindset, again, if there is a place for them. Whether or not there is or not, you may not even know that the space is there. But there are entities that can attach themselves to you, again, and you don't even know how you're taking them in, right? You don't know how you're taking them in. You don't know actually who sent them, right? But again, in this time, it is going to be those people that are of righteousness, that these people are going to send certain people against you, right? To try to corrupt you, or they're going to speak harshly about the word or certain about the word or the word of God, right? So again, these are going to be people that are going to rile up, again, the people against these particular people that are coming with the message, the prophets, the oracles. And again, if we want to go back to nature and say the sages or things like this and make them look some kind of way, shamans or whatever, I would even think, and this is just me, right? Because I'm just trying to reach a variety of different people that see things a lot of different ways. So I'm saying I'm not saying you should or shouldn't delve into any of these things. What I'm just bringing them up, okay? So it says someone who commits adultery or fornication. Okay. And then we move to 1600, a classical correction. Okay, this is the adjective for adulterous. Pertaining to adultery, born of adultery, not faithful to a spouse or lover, characterized by adultery. Okay. So in the 1600s, this is what it actually meant, right? So again, at first it said to commit these things. So again, these particular things can also be seducing someone to do something. Again, I'm just randomly speaking. This is just a freestyle, right? So this, and I feel like it could be someone that can get you to sign up for something as well, right? That you have no business delving into. Again, because, it feels almost a sense of that Elohim is going to do something, and these worldly ways are going to pass away. Heaven and earth is going to pass away, like in a sense, right? And so again, I always just wonder, and that's why I just weigh, right? We're just weighing things here. I'm not telling you which way to go or which way not to go. I don't want to be the one, and I don't want that put on me that I'm telling you anything. You know what I'm saying? I've made that decision in the past, and I feel as though I just ain't got time for it. I'm not doing that. Again, or it was taken in that context, I'll say, or taken out of context, what I said. But again, I've never been here to tell you what it is or what it ain't. I'm simply sharing what it looks like to me. Okay, I'm not claiming no titles or nothing. I'm just saying that I've been up in this word, and I've been in etymology, and I've been using other material, and I have a certain way of seeing, and so I'm just sharing it. That's it. Okay, so again, so before it meant something of getting tangled up into something that you ain't got no business getting tangled up into, period. Right? And then later on, it started to mean to be a two-timer or something of this nature. And we have to be real careful about that too, because as sometimes in his story, even being in the room with someone, do you see what I'm saying? I think I've seen like little hints of this on like that Bridgerton show or whatever. where just being in a room with someone can be considered that, and that just came to my mind today, right? Because again, sometimes we can be going through something, again, especially in the spiritual realm or in your mind's eye, right? Which I feel is separate than physical. But again, who says, because a lot of us are coming into this learning and testing and seeing, and we're going through these things with almost like with our eyes closed and groping, right? And so you might stumble on something and say, whoa, wait a minute, that's not the way. And then, back it up. But and sometimes I feel like maybe even compassion can be, taken out of context. But let's think about that. Back then, that was considered cheating or something. It was inappropriate for a female to be alone or to even touch somebody's hand or something. You know what I'm saying? So again, we have to really register where we're at with this and what we're really talking about. Okay. So let's just keep on going. Again, I just like to give scenarios. So again, having eyes full of adultery. So again, this could be to do it to or to be doing it. Okay. In my eyes. And that cannot cease from sin, beguiling unstable souls and hearts. They have exercised with the covetous practices, cursed children, which have forsaken the right way and are gone astray, following the way of Balaam, okay, the son of Bozar, who loved the wages of unrighteousness, but the wages, so I guess we're talking maybe like some kind of payment or something of an unrighteous way. I don't know. But was rebuked for his iniquity. So yes, I guess he was rebuked. Or she. Again, this is how I look at the word, again, in general. Because I don't think we're dealing with, okay, you guys know if you're on the channel. For his iniquity, the dumb ass speaking with man's voice. The dumb ass speaking with man's voice. So I don't know. I'm wondering if this is like, even I'm thinking man, like even man's laws or man's ways, or or even the ass speaking with a man's voice. I don't know if it's a male ass, but well, again, this is what brought me here, because I wanted to read that part because someone was saying that it was a female, the ass was, or the donkey, okay, because we're going to go ahead and look at donkey too. So they were saying that it was a female in their version of the Bible, right? But I'm saying, so if it's a female donkey speaking with a man's voice, I'm even thinking Republican ways, even in a sense, just randomly, that just came to mind. Yeah. Dumb ass speaking with man's voice forbade. So they forbade the madness of the prophet. Okay. So again, they ceased, I think is what it said, or tried to stop. Hold on, let's see. I get confused with which phone I'm on. Because I just like to look at these terms. Let's see. And like both my phones are about to now. Let's see. Forbade. Okay, to command, make aware. Okay, so somebody making something aware, bringing something to light, possibly. To forbid. It even says here, forbidden fruit. Okay, from Genesis 2:17. A command against. Okay, prohibit. Interdict. Proscribe. So almost, disallow, right? To stop or block, I'm feeling like this is saying. Keep from happening or arising, make impossible. So again, yeah, and that's one thing that I've noticed on this journey. I'm gonna tell you now that, just, I guess, being someone that's standing in your light, in a sense, people know who you are. Certain entities that are higher up and older than you know who you are, right? So again, that's the first thing they're going to try to do. It remind me of Job and the whole Satan story, that he sent him to test him all these times, and he lost everything, went through all this stuff or whatever, because I've definitely been in that spirit, family and everything like that. And then, still came back to God, right? Even after having Satan himself supposedly, right, come after him. So, I feel like, of course, in this time, and I've shared that with you guys, that there's a definitely high, and we talk warlocks and witches and stuff like that in the biblical text again. And I'm not saying that they are bad, right? And I'm not saying that they're all good. I'm not judging at all, right? Okay. I'm not judging at all. What I'm saying is, we are people, and people are going to dabble in some of these particular things. What I'm saying is, using them against someone in a negative way, that's going to be happening now. So we have to be aware of them. So I bring these particular things up because I know I have experienced them myself. I've had people, again, I'll tell you a short story. I've had my daughter, she didn't want to give me a run for my money. But she had met a friend, and she only spent a little bit of time out to dinner with them. And they talked about a couple of things that was going on in the household, right? And these are things that I had been aware of. I just couldn't figure it out. But then people opened up their mouth, and I heard certain things, so I knew. And again, I'll never reveal that, but I'm just saying I know. And her friend told her, yeah, my grandma used to be into that kind of stuff or whatever. And there's definitely something going on, So again, people are going to have gifts to prophesy or tell or share or say certain things in this time, where it might be a perfect stranger that has something to say. And it might be something that you need to take a closer look at. You know what I'm saying? Or it may just be confirmation or realization, right? Waking, realizing, and rising. That may occur when that particular thing happens. So again, this is why it's, like I said, it's a struggle for me. But then I do also feel like there is a spiritual connection to, certain things, when it comes to tobacco or other plants or anything, teas or whatever. Because again, I do have like a tea mix or blend that I smoke sometimes too. So, and again, it's just a thing, right? Because nobody's perfect. I just like to bring these things up because I've noticed with me using them and doing these things, I like to share my experiences. Although I'm trying to quit, trying is really not doing so, right? So again, so yeah, they're trying to forbade, okay? So then we have the prophet and we have the donkey that we're talking about here. And we have Balaam, the son of Bozar, okay? And it says these are wells without water. Okay. Wells without water. Clouds. That darkness is reserved forever. Wow. For when they speak great swelling words of vanity, they are a lure through the lust of the flesh. Okay. Through much wantonness. Those that were clean escaped from them who live in error. Okay. So again, this is almost like, turning away from certain individuals or energies. Again, I listen, right? Because the universe, I feel, is here to serve some of us, right? And so, I listen, and I might just be scrolling or something like that, and something just hit me in a different way, and I hear that. So again, I know that we are the ones we've been waiting for, and I know that there are going to be connections made, and I know that it's going to be in unlikely places. For somebody like me that looked, again, it's reminding me of the old works, even old world, of how I kind of came into this, coming from that spectrum of things that happened before that were not discussed, and then coming through and then pointing the finger at the construct in a sense, and then now we have had this whole thing collapse or whatever, and then again, whether we want to admit it or not, right? And then now we're looking at it from the other spectrum, and we're seeing, again, I think it's going to talk about the scoffers in a second. So we're seeing this particular thing going on here. So I'll just wait until we get there. So I forget how excited I kind of get. Even when the word is smacking me in my face and saying, yep, I'm talking to you. You know, it's still a thing for me, right? So, all right. Okay, while they promised them liberty. Okay, so again, we're in 19. It says, while they promised them liberty. I mean, can you just imagine? We ain't even got to really point no fingers. You know, and this is why I'm just careful with anything from this point, because I don't want to be stained. I feel like we've come out kind of clean at this point, you know, or we're going to come out clean, you know, if we're doing things the righteous way, you know, and if we're waiting for the Lord. So, and that just means signs and symbols, you know, it's work that you're going to have to do, because again, can't nobody do nothing for you if you ain't going to do nothing for yourself. So again, we have many aspects. I have certain aspects that I'm working on in myself, you know, to do. But, yeah, so this is the thing and this is what I was trying to tell y'all about a lot of these things that's going on right now, that we just, because somebody look like us, again, because we've been taught that it's so-called white supremacy, and that's the only thing we have to worry about. We're not worried about the fact that people that look like us were a part of things that came and took us down and brought us to our demise before anybody that didn't look like you even came here. So again, those children are still mixed and mingled with the children, right? So again, it's very important. It's very important just not to go off of what somebody says. Not even me. Not even me. So it says, while they promise them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption. So again, this almost, okay, for whom a man is overcome, of the same is he brought in bondage. Wow. You know, this remind me, and again, because I watch television shows for reasons, right? I'm always trying to see what's going on, you know, in the web, you know, pulling back the little fibers to see what's really going on. And, you know, it kind of reminded me of even that Discovery of Witches, right? Where Diana, okay, where the warlocks and things had certain people that had been working for them. Even her own friends and family had turned against her. You know what I'm saying? Not her family, not her aunts or whatever, but even some of her friends and things had turned against her. They had like a school. It was like a school or whatever. Matthew was involved in, you know, the research or whatever, but then the warlocks and stuff had their thing, and they gave the dark witch access to information about Diana, because they thought, they were curious about her. They wanted to know more about her and her power and all these other things. And so what they did was, again, used another powerful witch. So you had the two of the most powerful witches, or high priestess, what I would say, of that time. One of light that, you know, had access to lots of different powers. And then there was one of darkness that kind of was being fed by a certain group, and she was hired to do a certain thing. And I think I remember the one part where the head master or whatever he was came in, and he kind of got upset with the girl because no, I think it was when it came, I can't remember if it was Matthew or when it came to the other the warlocks, where he was upset because she was using the information to spy on her and expose her instead of using it for what he told her to use it for. Okay. So again, somebody's calling me, so I'm going to hurry up and just read this part right here, and I will, but again, like, it's always the pyramid scheme, right? Whoever thinks they're taking advantage of you, they're already having somebody above them that's taking advantage of them. And so again, it's a system of servitude. When, again, if everybody would just wake and realize that you're all being taken advantage of, then what? See? And that's why I try to keep this a positive way. And you know, I don't need to get all rowdy like that, right? I really don't. So, I mean, what's going to be done is going to be done, right? So it says, for if after they have escaped the pollution of the world, okay, of the world, because these are people lovers of the world and what's in it, through the knowledge of the Lord, Yeshua, or Christ, they are again entangled therein and overcome. The latter end is worse with them than the beginning. Wow, okay. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than after they know it to turn from holy commandment delivered unto them. But it is happened unto them according to the true proverb, the dog is returned to its own vomit again, and the soul that was washed to her wallowing in the mire. Okay. So again, I'll say one more thing and I'm going to end there because that part just hit me. It made me think I have to look at a couple things, because there's almost an energy here in this text that, okay, again, that there is the people that want to be God of this world that have been running this construct, and then there is the all, right? So again, there's going to be parallel ways where in this text, even if you can search or decipher, you'll see that some of this energy, it just doesn't go, it doesn't flow. And again, that's up to, I'm not going to tell you which parts, but we have to make sure we're not falling into the ways of those that may have been modifying certain things within this word, right? To manipulate things to look a certain way. That's when you have to seek the heart. That's when you have to seek within, which again, some of us have that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to be careful because I never want to mislead. But those who have ears will hear and eyes will see. Okay? So it's just a thing. So again, on this channel, I'm not telling you anything. We're just weighing the things to see what makes sense, right? Okay? Because, there's also an overseeing aspect here, or a master of this world mastery going on within this text, right alongside as what would be the proper or righteous way. Okay? All right? Always, I always keep that in mind. What does this sound? Does this all make sense all together then? Right? So since we already know that other people are going to be involved in trying to do certain things to trip people up, then you have to be very careful when we're examining these words. And that's why it's very important to know what they actually mean. Okay? So again, at the end of the day, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you guys later. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And join us in the Facebook group American Aborigines Unchained for more information, alternative information, past, present, and future. And take care.